immediately launched back into taking jabs at Owen Wilson, how much they suck, how great he is, how great he's seeing the board, how refreshed he is now that he's been on his bye week, right? He's calling it his bye week when he was away on his cruise. So Al's brother had a bye week.
I don't know. There's been rumors and rumblings out there that he might be engaged.
What?
I don't know that to be a hundo, but
I don't believe that's true. I don't believe that's true, and I don't want to. I don't know where you're hearing that from. Are there people? Is there like TMZ following Al's brother around? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah. I don't want to get anyone in trouble. But Doogie told me that. Doogie told me that could possibly happen this trip. I'm not sure. We'll let Al's brother tell us.
Okay, but what if his girlfriend watches the show and he didn't do it?
Okay, hang on a second. Doogie, did you not tell me that this might be a possibility this trip? Be honest, because you told me that.
Well, it's always a possibility with Al's brother.
Oh, no. Now you just got everybody
Now you're starting more rumors.
Doogie is backpedaling.
I don't like
that voice that Doogie just came on. That is tail between the legs. Like I might have misspoke or spoke out of turn.
Yes.
That's what it is. Now you just got yourself in trouble and everybody else, too.
That's Doogie starting rumors, and I don't like it because what he's trying to do is get my partner off his game. Right, he's feeling great. Everything's on the up and up right now for Hazenbrough, and Doogie's trying to throw a wedge between the two of us, maybe intimating I was the one starting such a ridiculous rumor, which I'm not. But the lovely couple had a great cruise. Al's brother's feeling great, as he should. Hazenbrough feeling great. I do think Owen Wilson is in more shambles than the Leafs, if it's possible, just because you guys don't know how to handle this. You know, the Leafs, they kind of know how to handle this. Leaf fans do anyway. Owen Wilson fans have been used to modicum levels of success with spiked levels of great success, including actually winning. Leaf fans are in a very weird position right now because I'd say for the last 4 or 5 years, the regular season has largely been irrelevant.
Snooze fest.
Yeah, most of the time you kind of said, wake me up in April. You know, for a lot of Leaf fans.
Who are we playing? Who are we playing?
Who are you playing? Can they get through the first round? Can they prove that they're built for the playoffs? You know, can they prove that they have that dog in them where they can finally go on a great run? And I think a lot of Leaf fans would kind of ebb and flow with the season. Oh, that's cool. Matthews is on fire. Hey, look at that. Marner's doing great. Willie's going to get 90-plus points. Cool. Like, there are cool stories, and the diehards are always there. But, you know, what's kind of fascinating about this is they've made the regular season relevant for the first time in 4 or 5 years. For all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Like, people are actually tracking the regular season because it's going so horribly. You know, like they're dead last in the East. I don't know if you saw that yesterday, but everyone on Twitter was tracking the Sabres game.
I saw
Sabres,
that.
Carolina, as if anyone on earth was watching that game.
I saw it. They didn't adjust the standings yet. So they had less points than Buffalo, but they were ahead of them. They hadn't put them down yet.
Right.
Yeah.
I love how NFL Sunday and people are like, well, I'm watching the Sabres Hurricanes game.
I did watch it. I swear on my life, I did watch that game.
Why? Why? Give me one reason why. Give me one reason.
Because I'm doing some of their games coming up, and I like to research on the teams that you're watching, right?
Okay, reasonable if you're going to be working some of those games.
Right. So, again, plus, you're sitting there going, okay, like, what's Buffalo got going? What's Carolina got going? Like, it's nice to kind of do a little research. Don't get me wrong. I didn't watch every minute of it. I was obviously tracking the NFL. There were some great storylines. Shedeur Sanders kid seemed to be.
Shedeur played okay.
I'm curious to see if he's a player or not. Like, remove the name. Because the dad, obviously there's a superstar tied to his dad, all of that. But can the kid play? Like, that's my question I'll have for Luke later or whoever, like any NFL insider, is like, can this kid play? Can he be an NFL player and be impactful? That's what I care about. He
is so incredibly painful to listen to. Like, one start, one win, and it's already started.
Well, he's a hero.
Oh my God. I actually don't think he can last. I don't think he can save himself in the league. Like, I honestly don't. Like, the Nike hoodie with his own head logo as like a logo, and like legendary is this like phrase. I'm like, this is crazy.
Well,
stuff.
like, that was like Dion, you guys remember when he came out of school, he was the man.
But he was Dion.
But that's the thing. Like I think he went 5th overall, 6th overall. He got to Atlanta immediately. You knew this guy is going to the Hall of Fame. Like almost immediately. You're like, watch this guy. You can't get enough of Deion Sanders. And then he's playing baseball, and he's going to the World Series for the Braves, and he's winning Super Bowls, and he's a larger-than-life personality and one of the truly all-time great athletes ever. And he talked the talk, but he walked the walk. And Shedeur obviously has been taught from his dad. Like, who would expect anything other than that? Clearly, that's his dad. It's his mentor. It's who he looks up to. Sure. And he's trying to put forth the Dion confidence, but it's difficult to do it when, again, you fell in the draft. You know, you didn't win a Heisman. You don't have the same amount of talent. But to his credit, he played well enough for them to get a win yesterday. He made some really nice throws.
Yep.
And today, I guess Dylan Gabriel got cleared, and they're sticking with Shedeur. So it's a huge opportunity for him.
Sure.
Like, Cleveland is a mess. They're, what are they, 3-8 now? They're not going anywhere.
He could do whatever he wants, and I hope the kid plays well. I got nothing against him. I just hope he takes it as that opportunity. It's like, that's what you have in front of you, an opportunity. It could be taken away in a quarter of football, a half. Like, it just, somebody could say, you know what? That's enough. I cannot watch you anymore. So, but that's not the way he is, man.
He has to perform. Like everything else, the interviews with the media, whatever you're going to wear at the stadium, going to the stadium, whatever, it only matters if you're playing. What ultimately matters in sports is you have to perform.
Yes, your performance.
If you perform, avenues open up for you to do anything you want. Like if you're a great player. And Dion's an example. That Dion could say or do whatever he wanted. He was playing every single snap, and he was going to be on the All-Pro team, and he was going to make a fortune, and he was going to the Hall of Fame, and he's going to have one of the great lives you're ever going to experience. As a head coach in college, he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
But if you don't, and you go the opposite way,
you just disappear.
You just disappear. Yeah, like Johnny Manziel's an example in Cleveland. Right? He got a chance, and he talked a big game, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and he couldn't play, and they just said, see you later. And I don't know what's going to happen with Shedeur Sanders. It's one start, but it was a good start. They got to win. Vegas is a mess, clearly, but it's a good start. He got to win. Now you roll it over. Let's see what you got. And at that position, all eyes are on you. Like Dion played corner. You know, there'd be a lot of games he would play when he was at the height of his career. You wouldn't even know he was on the field because they just didn't throw the ball to him.
Right.
Like Dion would just go out and play, but basically run routes and leave because he would cut off half the field. Shedeur is playing, and the ball's in his hands every single snap. Like there's no fading into the game. All eyes are on you. You're a quarterback.
Yes, he's front and center. I agree.
Center, quarterback in the NFL. It doesn't get any brighter than that in terms of lights.
No, and I didn't mean to derail it and take it away from what Leaf fans were watching because I saw the same thing as far as, you know, the standings, all of that. That was trending right away. The minute Buffalo won, it's like, okay, where are the Leafs at? Take a look. The unfortunate part, too, is they're on a long road trip, the Leafs are, and they don't play a lot. I believe they play like Wednesday, Saturday this week, correct?
Yeah, so which should be a bonus for them because all the injuries. Right, like McCabe left on Saturday, but it sounds like he's okay. He'll play tomorrow or Wednesday night.
Yeah.
You know, as for the other injured players, we'll find out more tomorrow. You know, it's Fort Knox down there. You can tell Berube's ready to snap. Like that's how I'm starting to pick up on that. I don't know if you guys are seeing it the same way. And I think he's looking around, being like, guys, we need some players to play. Like we need some guys to play. We're dying here. Like because Saturday, the talent disparity was significant. And credit to Montreal, they showed up. It's hockey night, Saturday night, Bell Center, Leafs Habs. Doesn't get any bigger than that. And the Habs showed up and realized they had to snap out of it because they were in a stupor going into that game, too. They had not been playing well, and they did. But the Leafs, you know, they lost in every possible category.
Dude, that was like an alumni game where you play against firemen or something. You know what I mean? Like
it was really bad.
They played
really
keep
ugly.
away. That was keep away. Like some of the passing plays, I'm like, really in the NHL? You're like, it's great stuff, zipping it around like that. Demidov back to Dobson and was like, oh, wow. It's like, what is this? Is this some kind of skills competition? It was like an alumni game against firemen. Like,
I felt bad for Joseph Woll because that second period could have been 5 or 6 pack easily, like the way that they were. And he made some great saves, but then it was a mercy pull. But you got pulled. Like, you gave up 4. Like, it sucks. Like, and, the Anderson goal wasn't great, but I just think he was done by then. Like, he just didn't have anything left in the tank. Like, that was – what were the shots in the second period? Was it something gross? Like, I think it was 19.
Yeah, at one point I think it was 15-1 or something like that.
Like, and he had made 4 or 5 10-bell saves, like legitimate 10-bell saves. This one wasn't a great goal. A little screenshot, but still, come off the poster down early, all of that. That was a mercy pull. But I still felt bad for him because – he was giving them a chance. But keep in mind, to start the second period, he made 2 or 3 unbelievable saves where, you're going, okay, at least he's shown up to play. And then, the lead players, like the guys in front of him, just looked overwhelmed.
There's just nothing. And it's so, like, I get it. There's a lot of injuries, but
there is.
It's so unlikable for the coach to constantly have to say they don't want to dig in and play the right way. Like, it's bad enough they tortured the fan base for the last 9 years. They don't want to do the little things to be successful in the playoffs, and the results speak for themselves. And now it's the regular season, and it's just like, it's the Florida. If the Florida Panthers were ever just god awful and they get older, it would be like, these guys just aged out, man. That's how they would kind of fizzle out. And it would be somewhat likable. They'd be like, you guys won cups, you still work hard, you just don't have it. But day in and day out, the coach has to say they just don't want to dig in and play the right way. And then these guys are just falling down. Like, the injuries are, I don't know. I've said it a million times. I've learned a long time ago, you never question what's going on there. But it's just like, it must be frustrating for Berube. And the people that need, like, just stop with the new coach. You guys, you want them to mow through a new coach again?
No, it's that the coach isn't the problem. Yes, everybody can be better.
He has to bear some responsibility, Jamie. You can't totally absolve him, but
I understand that.
I mean, it's like, you go ahead, like, get rid of him, get a different coach in there. But that is just complete insanity.
I get it, and you could probably get a new coach bump here or there, but again, there are different factors. Brian, you can weigh in on this, but if you had to do a percentage pie. There's lots of blame to go around, but I still believe the players would have the biggest percentage on the pie.
Yeah.
I think there's the coach. I think there's the manager. I think there's lots of different things that come into that percentage of the pie. But injuries are one of them, too. Craig Berube can't put his gear on and go, I'm going to go block a shot. He's got to put out Dakota Mermis. He's got to put out guys that aren't everyday NHLers. Like, they don't have Austin Matthews. They don't have Matthew Knies. They don't have Chris Tanev. They don't have Stolarz.
But I keep saying this, Noodle. Even when those guys were back, they were terrible then too.
Agreed.
And the biggest percentage of the blame pie, it's that decor, man. I know there's some forwards that are completely invisible, and we can touch on those guys later. But that decor just can't. Injured, not injured, healthy. They don't move well enough, and they're not moving the puck up to the forwards. They're too slow. Either they're incapable. All of us watch a lot of hockey. That's got to be one of the worst decors in the league. They're not getting it done, not even close. And
no, they are. It's not up for debate. It's not.
They're probably the worst decor in the league.
The worst in the league.
Yes.
Yeah. It is. And again, Tanev would clean up a lot of that. And there's a couple other guys that you could expect to play better.
Well, Carlo and Tan. If Carlo would play better, and if Tanev was available, you're at least looking. There's an NHL decor there.
Yes.
That's the truth. I mean, we started the season, they brought back the same 6. The same 6 that looked really good in the playoffs last year. The same 6 that were hard to play against and whatever else verbs that we used to describe them in a positive way. They didn't forget how to play hockey, but you miss players, and the players aren't playing to their capabilities. That's 2 things I would say that are hurting that defensive core.
Yeah, and again, the depth of the organization is being challenged, and this is again a reality of a 9-year run, where they kept going for it and going for it and going for it, and it's not. You understand why, whether you agreed or disagreed with certain trades, everyone's going to have an opinion on that, but in terms of the larger picture and the philosophy, that there was 9 years. they thought, okay, we're right there. They knew they were going to the playoffs. They knew they had high-end talent. They knew they had a lot of younger players that were very good, that were in their prime. And as a result, they traded a lot of picks and a lot of prospects. And now they're in a situation here where when they do run into any injuries, they just simply don't have replacements. Like, they don't have them. And, defensively in particular, it's been an issue with this organization throughout my lifetime. Right. They just, like, you talk about the 6D that they started with. One of them was drafted by this team, Morgan Riley. The other 5 all acquired from somewhere else.
Yep.
The other guys they're calling up here, don't have a track record of drafted and developed and guys that can step into the lineup and play and perform. And, up front, they seem to have that. Cowan, Quillen, he came out of the lineup on Saturday, but they might have a couple of guys there. In net, I guess Joseph Wall, they drafted, they developed.
Yep.
And they're not alone. A lot of teams have to deal with this, but it's just the realities of, an all-in mentality for a long time are coming back to get them now. And it happened quickly. It happened quickly. And yes, they have 60 games left, but that's, it's 60 games. I was kind of doing the math last night. Now, we'll see. Parity, there's a lot of parity in the East right now, and maybe that continues throughout the year, and maybe there just aren't that many separators.
Hit us with it. What do they got to go?
Well, something like, again, it changes. Some years the second wild card might need 92 points. Some years they might need 98. Like every year's a little bit different.
Calgary had 96 last year. They missed.
And they didn't get in. Exactly. Some years you do. Sometimes it's that third team in the division that has like 89 points and they get in just because the division stinks and the top 2 teams run away.
Yeah.
But something around 35, 20, and 5 the rest of the way. Like
something like that.
Something,
or
30, 20, and 5. Sorry, I got the math wrong. 30, 20, and 5. Something, something like that. In around, they got to get to like 95 points.
Yeah.
And I don't know, can you see them winning 34, 35 games the rest of the way? Like, can they get there? I don't know. I mean, that's
the only thing is, Brian, like, if we were looking at the roster that was iced Saturday night, you'd probably say no.
Now, if it's Saturday night, it's definitively no. Like, if that's their roster, and it's not. To be fair to the Leafs, it's not.
That's what I'm trying to get
If that's the roster, they might be dead last in the NHL. Legitimately. They're chasing Nashville with that lineup they had on Saturday night.
But what do they got coming up here? They got a road trip. So it's Columbus. It's what on Saturday night? Is that Washington?
Apparently it's Friday, too. So it's Toronto Maple Leafs at Washington on Friday, Toronto Maple Leafs at Pittsburgh on Saturday, and it's Toronto Maple Leafs at Columbus. So it's 3 games in 4 nights. Columbus Wednesday, Washington Friday, Pittsburgh Saturday, and then they go into the following Tuesday into Florida and into Carolina.
Carolina next Thursday.
Right.
Yeah. Like, so you can kind of look at it, guys. If they don't get it together on that road trip and they fall even farther back, there's big time trouble.
Well, you're right. Oh, they have to be 500 on that road trip. Like, these long road trips right now with the parity in the league, you got to hope for 500. But what you need to do is make hay at home.
They can't do that anymore, though, Noodles.
Guys, look at their schedule they've had. They've had a gift from God with their schedule.
Yeah.
The easiest schedule you could ever imagine. They should be so far ahead of the pack right now. It's insane.
I believe they have the toughest schedule remaining in the NHL.
They do, because they've had the easiest up to now.
So that's the thing. Like, I hear you. It's a Monday. I don't want to come in here and be all negative and hating, but I keep talking with Leaf fans who are like, well, all they got to do is win 5 in a row. Yes, but what if they lose 5 in a row? Then what? Like, it's actually more likely that happens than the other way. The way they've been playing, like, yes, they could win 5 in a row and then reset, and you're a point out of the playoffs, and then maybe everyone comes back and it's all good. Is that possible? Of course. Is that what they're hoping for? Obviously. Should that be the mentality around that team? Yes. There's still 60 games left. They're a veteran team. There's no trades coming. It doesn't happen in the NHL. Nothing of substance is going to happen here. So you got to play it out. You got to hope Berube has some answers and can push some buttons and goalies get hot or whatever.
Yeah.
But they have the toughest schedule left. Like I said, with 60 games left, about, something like 35, 20-5, give and take. They got to get going. So 500 over any run probably isn't doable anymore because the other teams, like you said, are also winning. Ottawa is perfect on this road trip. They're in L.A. tonight, and Brady Tkachuk is going to return this week.
Yeah,
and Tampa's hot, and Detroit keeps winning, and Boston keeps going. And Florida, they got tons of injuries too. They're still playing okay. They're keeping their head above water. So
you said it a couple of weeks ago, Brian. They have to, injuries or without injuries, put this in their rearview mirror and have it be their worst stretch of the season. Because they can't do anything like it again, or they're just like we talked about this road trip. If they get clubbed in this road trip, it's game over. They're probably not making the playoffs. You just talked about the math.
The math doesn't lie. The biggest challenge you look at, let's look at even last year or in previous years. Always you have to have a very good home record, and your road record has to be very respectable, 500 or better. What I'm saying is, this road trip, they started 0-1. They've got 5 more. You've got to find – you can't go 0-5, 0-6. You've got to find a way to scratch and claw. I'll give you an example. The Oilers had that 7-game road trip. They ended up 3-3-1. And it's an ugly road trip, and they had to go. But you end up 500, and now you're going home. That's what they need to do is gravitate to some sort of positivity and then get home, make some hay, get healthy, make some hay. But the challenge is, like you said, they're not getting a lot of help, and it's going to get harder from now. You're going into other teams' buildings where you're not getting the last change. You're not going to you got to coach the hell out of this team. Your goaltending has to steal some games. You have to have some heroes that step up. I'd like to see Max Domi be a difference maker. Or
why would that happen? Game 23 of the season.
I understand that, but my point is, the other night I was watching. And it's Dakota Joshua wants to fight with 1 second left. I'm like,
but he didn't really. He ran into him, and the ref ran in, and then he skated off. Where was that
in the first period? That's the type of stuff.
They don't have anyone that's wired that way.
Let's just be real about those 2 additions. Dakota Joshua and Matthias Michelli have done jack squat for this hockey team since coming here. One has a couple goals. I think they both have a couple goals, but their 5-on-5 play, they're invisible. They don't do anything. They shouldn't be in the lineup. The only reason that they are is because they were acquired and there's nobody else to play. They don't do anything. They're honestly guys out on the ice. They don't do anything. I'm sorry. That's the honest assessment after watching them after this amount of time. They're not doing anything. The two of them. Useless.
You're right, but I'd like to hope you're sitting there going, that's what you need. You can't just go, okay, Willie or John, give me something. It's like Calle Järnkrok started the season and had some goals and they got hurt.
But Jamie, the guys that I just referred to, Nick Robertson and Calle Järnkrok, to think that anything is going to elevate and that they're going to deliver some heroic performance and pot some important goals or do something special, that is just ridiculous to think that that's going to happen, because it ain't happening. I've watched them long enough.
I'd like to see it more. I'd like to see Bobby McMahon have a game. I'd like to see, again, I
think the book's out on him, too, and I hate to be negative on a Monday, but the book's out on him, too. He's wildly inconsistent. He is. He'll have some games where Jonas will freak out and talk about his speed and how fast he is, and he'll get a goal. He might pot a couple goals, and then he disappears for weeks at a time. He's wildly inconsistent, and I loved him when he first came up. I thought he was going to sneak up and be a top 6 forward because he had a simple role to play with skilled players, and he's just too inconsistent, and it's a major problem for him. He always finds himself in the doghouse. I'm just spitting truth here, people. I'm positive on Mondays, but this Monday, not happening.
Well, yes, Owen Wilson in this, that it's 0 for 2, and I get it. But what I'd like to do is if they could tread water, get a game, have a game, focus on Wednesday, win a game, and then maybe you get some reinforcements come Friday or Saturday. And I don't know, this still day to day, that still scares me. That's what scares me. What Craig Berube said about Nyes and Austin, they said they're close. Was that?
Yeah,
that
was today's update. Which again,
close.
These updates. They're not, there's just no point in even giving updates.
The Stolarz one scared me even
Hasn't
more.
even skated in 2 weeks. Yeah, an upper body injury that you can't skate with. I don't know. I mean, again, with the Leafs, they do themselves no favors with their fans. And, you're talking about the stars, the faces of the organization, and you just give them nothing, no updates on anything. And again, when you're winning, you can do that kind of stuff. It's the old Bill Belichick story. Bill, the team's going to win 13 games. He treats everyone the way he treats everyone. But everyone's all right. You got to chew on it. Bill's doing great. Now, this is the way you release information, and you're private. You don't give anyone anything, and you're terrible. That's when fans and people are going to start getting up in arms.
People get frustrated.
Get very frustrated because people are buying tickets to this stuff. They're like, is he playing or not? I get on Wednesdays on the road. But it's like, are you playing or are you not playing? What happened? Why is he not playing? What happened? What's going on? No answer. Not giving you anything. Getting close. Like, okay. Well, it's just it's a complete waste of time. And it's not Craig Berube's fault, to be clear on that. Craig's just being told what to do. I mean, that's why I think I'm picking up on his frustration. I think he wants to reveal something. He's just like, what do you want me to tell you? I'm not allowed to say anything. Yeah. But you're right. Getting close. It's like, how are you not ready to play? You're in Montreal skating. You're skating every single day. Yeah. At what point, also, you guys can speak to this, I can't, but you always used to say, like, oh, the vets would be like, when are you playing? Like, this team's dying right now.
Oh, my God,
they need guys to play.
When we came in the league,
you kind of have to play right now.
Every day, an older guy, you playing, or what's your story? Like, what's your deal? It's like, no, sorry. And they just shake their head and walk away. And you would just feel like the biggest piece of garbage. And it was back then. There was urgency. Like if you didn't play, somebody legitimately could come up and take your spot and play well, and then you got a problem on your hands.
Right.
Like a serious problem. Now guys are like, I'm locked in. I got big money. I got guarantees. I got no moves. I'll just take my sweet ass time and do whatever I want. I'm not saying that's happening in this particular case, but
I just my biggest thing with Austin is I just hope it's not chronic. I hope it's not the same thing that happened last year and in previous. Like I don't know, and again, I don't know the nature of the injury.
According to our insiders last week, they said it's not. It's something different.
Then you hope that's good. Like I always talk to my athletic therapist, and he always says everything's connected. What is that the children's song with the knee bones connected to the like everything.
Max Scherzer, man. Max Scherzer will tell you that.
Exactly, but. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. I'd like to see them get healthy, but it is getting tougher. I'll be honest, guys. It's a little bit tougher because now we're a week later. I had that speech last week.
That's it. Exactly. That's the problem. Like, and it's again like Saturday was ugly because Montreal was just dancing around them. And
I told you what that was.
Yeah.
Alumni versus firemen.
I know. Well, it was give me flashbacks because I remember 7-8 years ago the Leafs went into the Bell Center when they were all young, Matthews and Marner and them, and put on a clinic one night. Saturday night, same thing, just dummied the Habs. I think Matthews had 2 or 3 goals. And I was tracking the Montreal media, and they were just like in awe of it and starving for that because the Habs were just kind of kicking tires with, it was just kind of they were trying to fit. It was Carey Price, and they didn't know where to go and what else were you going to build. And now you fast forward, and it's the opposite. It's Leaf fans like, man, that Demidov looks good. Dobson's pretty good. Man, Hudson's really dancing. Suzuki's pretty good.
Caulfield.
Yeah, and you just go on and on and on.
Arrived.
Yeah,
and you're
exactly.
Like going, man, oh,
and
man.
Leaf fans are like, man, it was right there. They had it for a while, but they didn't capitalize on it.
Josh Anderson just wants to play against the Leafs.
He loves playing the Leafs. Oakville kid. Loves it.
Man, oh man, just that's all he does. Anyways, tough Saturday night for sure.
Well, we'll see what comes of it Wednesday. Luke's coming up. Luke Wilson. I'm sure he'll make everything feel positive today.
I need a hashtag. Now we go.
You guys need a win
Leafs,
tonight.
Go.
You're picking a game tonight. You got the Monday Nighter Niners at home against the Panthers. Big game.
I'm just telling you right now. If we don't win tonight, we're separating. We're breaking up the teams.
Oh, you're calling that right now? Uh-oh.
Yeah.
So this is a guaranteed must-win night. Is that what you're claiming?
It's a guaranteed must-win, or Al's brother and my Partsy are going to have to team up and face you, and you can decide how we're divvying up the points.
Wow.
That's what has to happen.
That's disappointing to hear, but it might actually spark you guys tonight. You're basically telling your Partsy it's a must-win. He has to find a way to pick up a win.
Like Owen Wilson's future is on the line. If we don't win, it's Hayes and O.
Okay.
Not bro.
All right. Okay. Oh, you think I'm taking you?
I don't know,
fascinating.
man.
You think I want any piece of your mojo right now? I don't know. I'll think about it. That's
Luke
a scary
might call
proposition.
Up Davis Sanchez or something like
Yeah.
that. So I think Luke might.
He might. Davis Schneider. Maybe he calls up Davis Schneider.
Yeah.
Or Davis Sanchez. Who knows?
You never know.
All right. Luke's coming up. Joel Quenneville in an hour, man. They're dancing in Anaheim. They're feeling good about the way things are going with the Ducks. So we'll catch up with Joel as well. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
Now, back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
All right, Luke has been called out. Luke Wilson Must-win night tonight for Owen Wilson. They're on the clock. He'll be in studio in about 25 minutes. Joel Quinville in just under an hour. OverDrive continues. Brought to you by FanDuel, bringing you more ways to play your game your way.
Somebody just sent me a hashtag. Hashtag, it might be time to go. Not now we go.
No.
It might be time to go. That would be troubling.
What do you honestly think about the idea of a Hazen-O and we take him down for the championship?
I think it'd be pretty hilarious, and I think we'd have a very good chance because the two of them could not mix together.
But the thing is,
it wouldn't work.
Al's brother is a part. Yeah, they could.
You think so?
I think they secretly wish they were on the same team.
I think there's a part of me that thinks that could be true, and Al's brother in particular. Like, I think Al's brother thinks he's better than I am.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think he looks down on me.
I think he would love the idea of chopping it up with an NFL player about the NFL.
That's what I'm saying.
The thing is, Hayes, what are you going to do with your winnings? Because if you're plus 13 or plus 12, he's responsible for some of it too. So does he get half the points on his team and we split it down the middle, or what is it?
Oh, it would be a start from scratch scenario, and we'd take these guys right down. I mean, I have no doubt in my mind we would bury those two.
You think so?
I have full confidence in that. Al's brother's been on a cruise for 2 weeks. He hasn't made any picks.
No.
Like, I'm picking winners left, right, and circle here. Al's brother is, on some flotation device down in the Bermuda Triangle.
So it all comes down to tonight.
All comes down to tonight. All right, it's been set. We'll figure it out. We'll get to Luke in 20 minutes. We'll talk NFL with him. We'll make the pick. Joel Quinville in just under an hour. I was off on Friday because, it was my oldest daughter's birthday, which is big, and it was our first away tournament, which I had always been looking forward to because I'm sure you guys had the same experience. Like, when we were kids and we'd have away tournaments, you'd see some of the dads show up for the 8:30 game the next morning.
Hungover.
Absolute
a mess.
Disasters. And you'd hear stories, always rumors like, John didn't get up. Like, he couldn't even get up. He didn't make it to the game. Because you'd get there and you'd be like, hey, where's your dad? Why isn't he tying your skates? Like, he couldn't wake up. Like,
you see what Larry got up to last night?
Exactly. And I was like, is this what we're going to experience? And there were a couple dads taking it, pretty deep, but it didn't get too crazy. But it was the first away tournament. That was what I remember as a kid more than anything else, is the dads being like, they're not going to make it to the 8:15. They're not getting to that game. There's no way.
So what did the dads ultimately do? Did they just gather in one room and just pound booze?
Yeah, there was a lot of that. There was a lobby. We were watching the games. Like, we had a semifinal game on Sunday at 7 a.m., which was.
Oh no!
You talk about writing an email to whoever was convening that tournament. 7 a.m. But we watched the Leaf game. We're pounding drinks and watching the Leaf game.
I can one up you as far as kids hockey. I drove 2 hours and 45 minutes to South River, Ontario, which is just south of North Bay, for a game that's 2 10-minute periods and a 12-minute period.
Yes, I know.
Dude, it's like the game's over in 35, 40 minutes, and you're like, that's it, huh? So,
well, my brother-in-law tells me that story about driving my niece to a game in, like, Owen Sound, and they lost 1-0.
Dude, mine was 0-0.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, man, you go all the way up there, at least 6-5. Like, someone's going to win or lose, get some action going. But, I'm sad to report. Like, I don't know, maybe the previous generation, they just took the away tournaments way crazier, way deeper. And the next one, we'll try to up our game the next time we convene.
So I'm taking it the semifinal, you lost.
Yeah, we lost. We lost, and we made our way home. It was disappointing. Girls had a great tourney. It was awesome. Everyone had a blast.
How intense was it, though? Like, there's some – like, I sit in the corner and just hang. I put my earpods in. I'm on my phone. I just kind of sit and watch, right? Mm-hmm. There are parents with what are the pom-poms? There's cowbells. There's horns.
Oh, absolutely.
I was
Everyone's
like,
excited.
all right, so be it. Like, my son played in a tournament last weekend, so we had to pull him out of school on a Friday. There was a Friday at 10:30 a.m. game or whatever it was, and the tournament was wonderful. But it was just like, there was cowbells and pom-poms and the parents and yelling at the ref.
The refs, the refs take heat, man.
I will say this. I sit in the corner and do nothing. There was a hero ref yesterday.
Uh-oh.
And I didn't say a word.
Yeah,
but
come on,
He called
Noodles.
a penalty. No, he called a penalty shot for 8-year-olds hockey. A penalty shot.
Isn't it half ice at that age?
No, it's full ice.
Oh,
but
it is full
they
ice.
Said,
okay.
This is the other. The coach's Cammy came in and said that is the first penalty shot in the history of the league.
Yeah.
It was kind of funny.
How would they even react? I'm sure the kids were like, what the hell's going on
I
here?
would never even be able, the way parents are yelling at referees and yelling in general, I give every referee a hall pass for every bad call they ever make.
The
nonsense that they have to listen to.
Quickly, I will throw this out because I just thought, because you mentioned the ref.
Yeah.
And I was talking about the parents. So the game was supposed to start at 7 a.m. It started at 7:08 a.m. You want to take a guess as to why?
The ref rolled in.
The ref was late. So they were out there warming up for 10 minutes. And then the ref, you hear the click of the door, the big click to open the door, the side door, and it slams, and every parent's looking at this guy like, where the hell have you been?
Yeah, what are the chances he passed the breathalyzer?
There's a 0% chance. I'm pretty sure he was on no sleep because I don't think he made it to one blue line for an offside call. I don't think he put his arm up at any point during the game. Yeah. It was basically a shinny game. No, nothing's getting called. There's not going to be any icing.
Some of the old school referees that ref minor hockey, if referee skating style was a Twitter account and they had vids of all the guys, I would definitely follow that account.
Yes.
Yeah. There are some beauticians out there reffing.
Beauties.
Yeah.
Well, the guy, because there'd always be the one guy who actually really could skate. And he'd burn around, and you're like, no one's out here to watch you. Yeah. Always swinging the arms.
Oh, yeah. He's got to just do the strict arm swing.
I mean, I've seen some calls, and I kind of chuckle. It was a couple months ago, but there was a too many men call. You call – these kids are learning to change.
Changing on the fly.
Changing on the fly, but it's like – one went in one door, the other jumped out the other. The guy's like, can't do that. Too many men. I'm oh, my God.
We've had a bunch of those.
I just laugh. I think it's hilarious because I think it's better when there's chaos. My daughter said to me, I said, I think he's got a penalty shot. And she's like, well, do you want him to have shots? I'm like, yes, I want him to,
for sure,
experience
learn it. That's
goals
part
against
of the game.
And everything. You want to experience all that. I think it's great.
Yep.
But the parents get worked up, man.
It's fiery,
I
man.
envy them because I don't have that type of. I don't know. I can't yell at the ref or yell at the other team or whatever. I just want to sit there and watch the game. It's awesome to watch. The parents have passion.
Oh,
it's so cool.
There's passion, man. There's passion. But it was quite the scene. And we got to up our game for the next tourney. We need one dad to miss one game. That's what I'm calling for. It might have to be me. I might have to take one on the chin.
Yeah,
that'll go over well, I'm sure, on my side of things.
Exactly.
He can't make it to the game. I remember vividly. I'm looking at this one dad. I remember it vividly. It's like, he didn't make it. He couldn't. No. He couldn't make it to the game.
Just buckled.
Dude, if you're a kid, if you're there and your wife's at home and you're responsible for the kid, and your kid's in the lobby asking other parents, my dad, I can't find him, with her equipment, and she gets a ride, you're a dead man. You're better off sending your kid home with someone else.
Yes. If another parent texts the mom back home, hey, we're looking for Brian.
Have you seen Brian?
Last we saw, he was dancing in the lobby.
Dad.
He was dancing in the lobby to some music or at karaoke or whatever.
We saw he was having a great time last night. We just haven't been able to track him down. We got a game starting soon, and we don't know where he is. All right, so we'll come back and touch on a big game for the Raptors tonight, man. They're rolling. Dude, the Raps are on fire, and we've got something to chew on, which both teams that are currently playing in town, pretty surprising ends of the spectrum in terms of where they are right now, in terms of win-loss record, in terms of where they stand in the respective standings and conferences. So we'll get to something to chew on. Luke's coming up. Joe Quinville, best bet still to come. OverDrive continues. TSN 1050 and on the TSN app.
Now, back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
All right, something to chew on brought to you by Boston Pizza's NFL Game Day menus. Stop by your local BP for $7 touchdown pints, dialed-in shareables, and weekly prizing up for grabs. Football game days are better at BP. Raptors in action tonight at home against Cleveland, a team they've already played 3 times, and they've already beat twice. Yeah, they've already beat them twice. And they've won 7 in a row. They're going for 8 in a row tonight. They are a slight dog. They played last night. R.J. Barrett's out tonight. R.J. got hurt during that game. We'll see. No update on Barrett. We'll find out, I'm sure, when Darko speaks momentarily. But when you consider where they are, you know, like they were 5-5 prior to this run. Remember, they won opening night in Atlanta really impressively, and then they got dusted. They went through Texas, and they got beat up, and they lost 4 in a row, and they couldn't defend, and they looked awful, and it was like, man, this is getting ugly. Where's this going to go? And
we thought Darko was going to get gassed.
I thought he was legitimately in trouble when they were 1-4 and getting pumped. Like Milwaukee, Dallas, San Antonio, Houston. Now, those are good teams, but they ran into all 4, Dallas notwithstanding. Dallas isn't. But they were getting beat up. And since then, they beat Cleveland on Halloween night. They haven't really looked back, and they're second in the East. Detroit is crushing teams. Detroit's won like 14 in a row or something crazy like that. But when you consider where the Raptors are 12-5 second in the East and where the Leafs are dead last in the East, what do you think? We're asking online, which is more likely to continue? The Raps at the top of the East or the Leafs at the bottom of the East?
Wow. I'm going to have to say the Leafs at the bottom.
That is the winning vote right now. About 65% of the vote coming in, Leafs at the bottom.
I just think the Raps are going to come down to earth a little bit.
So that's what you think of the Raps come down to earth. But, see, I think the Leafs are going to come out of the bottom. I really do. But I don't know how far, but I don't think they're going to be dead last.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
You know, but I could see the Raptors coming back to earth a little bit, too. You know, the difference is, did the Raptors come down to 3rd, and did the Leafs come up to 12th, or, you know, come up to 10th type of thing, and put themselves back in the mix? That's the hope right now for the Leafs, is to put themselves back into that mix where you're 2 points out of anything.
Yes.
2 points out of a playoff spot, 2 points out of 3rd place, that type of thing, where you're right in that mix.
Yeah, I would say I would say it's more likely the Raptors stay at, top the East. Again, they're not leading the East right now. Detroit is. The Knicks are going to be up there. There's other teams that are going to be up there. When you look at them, they're defending extremely well. You read quotes from other coaches and other teams and other media types that are watching them play, and they're all saying the same thing. They've got length. They defend. The egos are checked at the door. All these are cliches when you're winning. Right? When you're winning, every ego is checked at the door. That's the way it always goes. And then when you're losing, what? It's all ego? That's the problem? No one wants to say that. But I think the Raps, they've legitimately built something here. Credit to Masai Ujiri. Like, Masai got punted, right, because he was either making too much money or there was something going on with that contract or whatever. But this took a while, but they've built themselves back up. I don't think they're in championship contention right now. I think that's probably too premature. But if they can stay healthy, they can stay atop the East. I firmly believe that, with all the injuries in the East as well, especially with some of the teams we thought could be pretty good this year. The Leafs, I'm with you. I mean, I'm negative on them right now. How can you not be? How can you not be? What have you done for me lately? Through
it's
22
impossible
games,
not to be.
There's been nothing positive. Ultimately, there's nothing. Yeah, exactly. And there's nothing on the Leaf team right now, nothing they do that scares the opposition. Nothing. But if they get healthy, and I believe they will, and they can, I don't think they're like worst team in the league bad. Like I'm not there yet. Could I be in 20 games? Yeah, it could be. Like, obviously, if they replicate what they've done through 22 games, that's precisely where they'll be. And at that point, they'll have to adjust to what they want to do the rest of the year. Then we can talk trade deadline. Then we can talk about what they do with future assets and all that kind of stuff. They're not there right now. But, man, it's pretty shocking. And credit to the Raptors for what they've done, and, I guess the complete opposite for the Leafs. Yeah. All right, hour 2 coming up. Luke and Joel Quinville will join us. Best Bets as well. Monday night or tonight, must win. Must win for Owen Wilson. Must win. Maybe must win for the Niners, too, when you consider what's going on in the NFC West. OverDrive continues. TSN 1050 and up on YouTube Live.
The CHL USA Prospects Challenge on TSN. This is OverDrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog on TSN 1050.
If you smell what the Owen Wilson is cooking. Girl, you know it's true.
I was hoping for a different song, man. I was hoping for something else.
I'm done with this.
I didn't want to hear Milli Vanilli. I really didn't. I was pulling for you guys.
Parts. It's all on the line tonight. If we can't get it done.
I was filming Film Never Lies, so I have not tuned in to the beginning part of the show, but I heard a crazy rumor that my partner, my pal, my amigo, a pro athlete, is on this show right now claiming that we're done if we lose.
Yeah. Basically an ultimatum.
If it gets, what is it right now? Plus 11?
Plus 12. Dude.
Can I go over just so you guys
hang
know?
on a sec, Parts.
Yeah.
Let's
Baker's
just deal with
dozen
facts.
tonight.
Baker's if it gets to Baker's dozen, we ran out of time. We ran out of runway. We've got to switch it up, and that's just, don't you agree?
No, I disagree, Parts.
You think we could still chip away?
Yes, I do, especially with Thanksgiving.
Do you understand that we don't miss?
This is what's crazy is look at their, like, we're bad 16 and 19.
Say it again. You think we could still chip away?
Chip away.
22, 13,
now
and 1.
We go.
My partner.
Now we go.
Now we go.
Now we go.
My partner took a mid-season bye week, and we didn't slow down. But now my partner is coming back with energy.
That guy's useless.
He's healthy.
And there's a dirty rumor that he proposed, but she said no.
Yeah, that's
not true.
Doogie
That's
said
completely
that.
untrue.
Doogie has caused a rumor.
That's not true. The two of them are in great spirits. Everyone's ecstatic. They're just young love is in the air still with Al's brother and his.
I come in yesterday. I walk into the studio and I'm like, wow, we're down 9, and I'm like, there's no way. If you would have asked me my picks, I would have taken KC. So I was KC, Philly, and then the one I would have taken was obviously Matthew Stafford. As we all
Rams
know,
were so good last night.
That was a lock.
Yes.
But I'm sitting there and I'm like, the Chiefs are going to get it done today. Chiefs are going to get it done. We're going to win that one. We'll go from there. The Chiefs outplay the heck out of the Colts.
Did they? They were down 29. They were down 11 points in the fourth quarter.
You look at that game, almost every statistical category except for the big one, turnovers, and then they got jammed in the red zone. They had crazy 8-minute-long drives. Kareem Hunt had
that fumble
50 more, 40-something more yards than Jonathan Taylor had 58 total rush yards. Steve Spagnuolo got him to 3-and-out in the fourth quarter. I thought they dominated the game. They were bad in the red zone, and they had a couple bad turnovers, including the pick early. But at that point, I'm watching it, and I'm like, here they go. Majestical Chiefs. It's 1st and goal from the 2. The spread's 3.5, and we get jammed up. And then it comes to a field goal, and I'm like, we're going to lose in the hook. And we lost in the hook.
Well, like watching that game, everyone's waiting for Kansas City. It's like, okay, they're back. And now they're 6-5, and they're still in the hunt. For me, you mentioned how they took Taylor away, which is incredibly difficult to do considering how well Jonathan Taylor's been playing. But I think the Colts took him out, too, because, Dimes, he needed to make, 1 or 2 throws in the fourth quarter.
Couldn't do it.
And that's what has to be crushing for Colts fans.
Couldn't do it.
I think it's the same thing in Seattle with Darnold. I think I could name a handful of other teams that are off to a really good start. I think Bo Nix possibly in Denver. Maybe Drake May in the biggest moments. We'll see. It's early. He's young.
Yeah.
But at some point, the game, you can break it down to the simplest terms. Can your quarterback make 1 or 2 big throws when he really has to make them?
I agree.
And he couldn't do it yesterday.
Look at the Chiefs yesterday. You just said it. You're down 11. Even that, all of a sudden I'm sitting there and I'm speaking with our producer on the CTV show who's an NFL savant. And he's like, Luke, we're going to go do this hit. Looks like the Chiefs are going to lose. Do you think they'll make the playoffs? And you start looking at the schedule. And I'm a big Chiefs guy. You guys have heard me on here. And I'm looking at it. And I'm like, the math ain't mathing. They still had a shot, but, not a good shot. And they don't have many tiebreakers. And they're a game below 500. And I'm like, yikes. They might miss the playoffs. And then all of a sudden, it's season's on the line. Patrick Mahomes comes. You want to talk about the couple throws?
Looked vintage.
Surgical.
Last night.
He completed a pass to a guy who was unconscious. Noah Gray knocked himself out while hitting the ground and still ended up catching the football.
Yeah.
It laid on him, and they counted it.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. The 4th down play, some of the 3rd down plays, Rashee Rice came to life. Kareem Hunt's jumping over the pile for a touchdown. Steve Spagnuolo comes in and forces 3-and-outs. Jonathan Taylor's got nowhere to run. And I'm like, this is a playoff game. And, when it came down to it, the Chiefs delivered once again. Once again.
Yeah, they did.
Partsy, can you explain to me the scheduling? Like, how does some teams, if you're a garbage team the year before, does that mean you have like an easy schedule the next year? Or like, what the hell is that?
Yes.
Man?
So what?
I don't think that's right.
Not many people know this, and I'm not sure how the 17th game is, but it was funny because until I got to the NFL, I'm like, whoa, this is how to do the schedule. So what they do and why schedules end up easier / harder is you go in your division, you obviously play home and away.
Yes.
And so right there becomes your 3 games home, 3 games away, there's 6 games. Then if you're in the NFC, everybody in your division plays one other division, all 4 teams. So,
I didn't know that.
Yes. So you'll always have a very similar schedule. There gets you to the 10-game mark. And then in the same breath, everybody in your division plays one other division in the AFC or they cross conferences. Yeah. So again,
that's 14 games.
That gets you to 14. And to make schedules easier or harder, what you did for 15-16 is if you were the 1 seed in your division, you play the other 2 divisions in your conference 1 seed from last year. So
that's why you get Kansas City, Buffalo every year.
That's because they're always the 1 seed. And it was like for us, you probably would remember this, it was like we always seemed to be playing Green Bay. It was like every year, Green Bay and Carolina was another one that was just like, oh, we got Carolina again.
I got to be honest, I had no idea about that.
Not many people do. Yeah. And I used to sit there and be like, we're playing the 1 year I think the Cardinals ended up winning the division. And you're looking at it, and you're like, well, we had to play the what's it called, the Packers, the Panthers with Cam Newton, and they're playing the Bears. They're playing the Saints. If they were
the Lions
year.
Back then.
Correct. And it's like, hey, we end up missing out on a game, or we're 2 games back, and you kind of look at those 2 games, and you're like, now, granted, we mess up some stuff, so they do that to make things kind of more parity and add a little more drama.
Yeah, there's 3 swing games, so to speak.
Yeah, I don't know how they do the 17th game though.
I think it's the same. Like that's anyway. We don't have to get too deep into it, but yeah, more or less like the three games that are separate from the standard kind of scheduling is generally it's based on strength of competition the year before, and a lot of times you see Kansas City play Buffalo, whatever it happens to be, but. Yeah, I mean, that was a big win by Kansas City. And then, staying in the AFC, the Ravens have caught the Steelers.
Which is overtaking them.
Yeah.
And Lamar's not doing anything right now, which is kind of wild. And I don't know, he's got to be banged up because he does not look like himself. He's not claiming injuries, to his credit. When you win, you don't have to. You can just say, hey, it's a great team effort and blah, blah, blah. But who does this say more about, the Ravens or the Steelers?
To me,
that we're in this position.
They had a great shot here to kind of really cement themselves and separate, and now all of a sudden they're in jeopardy. Let's just be honest with Pittsburgh. They're in grave danger here because Buffalo is their next opponent. And then the next thing that's wild about that game is I lean Buffalo. I don't know who's going to end up having to call that game. I lean Buffalo all day. But if Buffalo lays another egg, you got to look at the schedule for Buffalo and think to yourself, we might be on the outside looking in on this thing too. Mm-hmm. And then the last thing I'll say is matchup-wise, I don't know if Buffalo wants to show up to Baltimore, if that's what it's going to be, because they can't stop the run. And Henry is starting to get rolling. Mm-hmm. That run game's looking a lot better. So, if you're Buffalo right now, assuming you don't win the division, I think your best chance matchup-wise would be Denver, believe it or not. And then after that, there's not really anybody you love to see, but I would probably go in your own division in New England.
Yeah.
You don't want to see that Buffalo defense and their run defense.
It's a mess.
Doesn't want to see Jonathan Taylor in the first round of the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Everything's kind of lumped up. Luke, I wanted your opinion on, is that Dallas win yesterday. Does that do anything for them? I mean.
Noodles, other than make me want to puke. Back to the spread. So we get jammed on the hook. It's 21-0, and I almost text the group. I swear. I said, well, we washed that out. We got to pray Baker pulls a miracle tonight.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Oh, my.
The Eagles threw that game away, man. There's something weird about the Eagles. It feels like they were a couple of years ago. Remember they started 10-0 or whatever, and they just melted down the stretch?
Yes.
Yeah, and they got punted by Tampa in the playoffs.
Yes.
Watching that game, it was just a weird – I don't know. I got a weird vibe out of it, and I just don't know. Like, Dallas isn't for real, is it? Or it's just that
I'll say this: Dallas's offense
stunk.
is for real. Dallas's offense is 100% for real. Dak Prescott, if they had a better record, everybody would be talking about this guy. George Pickens, Dan Orlovsky, I think had a take today. I got to get his exact words. I don't want to misquote him. But he thinks George Pickens is the best receiver in the NFL.
He's been unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So you look at Pickens, CeeDee Lamb's got a ton of talent. A couple random drops yesterday, which almost burned him. But CeeDee Lamb's obviously an unbelievable player, too. The run game and the O-line, like one thing Dallas has historically done very well is draft. Like as much as you want to talk smack about Jerry Jones, Dallas has hit on a lot of draft picks. Not every one, but a lot of them. Their offensive line, to me, looks awesome. And they kind of built that through the draft. So offensively, Noodles, they are 1,000% the real deal.
Yeah.
Defensively, they had the game against the Raiders, and everyone's like, oh, they're back, Quinnen Williams, etc. Yesterday in the first quarter, let's call it, I'm like, this defense is awful. It's the worst defense I've ever seen. I mean, A.J. Brown's running wide open middle field for a touchdown. But they were able to kind of rope it in. Now, that's where I'm like, how much of this was on the Eagles? I think a decent amount. Like, I don't love Dallas's defense. They're much better than they were beginning of the year. But you want to ask me if they're for real. Like, again, I know it's the new kid saying, but it's like the math just ain't mathing.
Right.
They have 5 wins. Who are they going to catch? Well, honestly, who are they going to – like, they're going to have to – I hate – because they've got
They're not going to catch the Eagles. Like, as bad as the Eagles are right now, I say that. But the Eagles, I think, will snap out of it and get to 11 wins or whatever.
So, like, you got 3 wild card spots, and right now 2 of them are in the NFC West. And, like, San Fran's got 2 more wins than they do. Seattle's got, I believe, 3 more wins than they do.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's going to come down to the NFC North and the NFC West.
Correct.
Like, that's what's going to determine what happens.
I still think that Detroit and or Green Bay.
Yeah. Green Bay, I'm trying to get a read on who the best team is in the NFC North because based on the record, it's Chicago. And credit to the Bears. They're playing brutal teams, but they're winning. And Caleb Williams has played really well recently. Like, he's controlling the ball.
I couldn't believe when I saw their record.
They're 8-3. Yeah.
And
like, very soft schedule. Getting back to what we talked about earlier. They've been so bad. They just have soft schedules, and they take advantage of it. And they still have to go through Green Bay and Detroit. There's going to be some heavy lifting down the stretch here. It's going to get difficult for them. But Green Bay as well. Green Bay's got a pretty tough sched. Detroit's got a very tough sched.
Yeah, but they just have more wins than the Cowboys.
Right.
Like, do you think Green Bay gets to 10 wins?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Does Chicago get to 10 wins?
Probably at this rate.
I would agree. Detroit?
Yeah. Probably. Yeah. So I think Dallas, to your point, is in trouble. The Niners aren't going to fall. And Niners are playing Carolina, so someone's winning tonight.
They're a 7.5-point favorite. Now, I think that line should be a little tighter, as you're going to find out.
I think I know exactly who you're taking, and I would too.
But, like, is Seattle going to slow down? No. So,
yeah.
Like, what
it's not going to add up for Dallas.
Is Dallas going to catch? Somebody's going to have a monumental collapse at this point.
Possibly multiple teams.
I got a feeling there's going to be somebody in this vicinity, in this room, that's going to have a monumental collapse in the
Talking Hazen, bro? Is that what you're suggesting? That we're going to be the ones that melt?
Parts, you got to come clean here. What did you say on this show today, Parts? Did you say you wanted to join the enemy?
Yeah,
what I said was,
there. Luke, you got to be concerned about this guy.
I do admit, when I said it, my nose started growing because I was lying.
Little Pinocchio
I said
action?
if it was just a complete joke, but I did say I think plus 13 would be out of reach. Would you not agree with that?
If it's plus 13 after Thanksgiving, yeah,
out of reach.
We're in shambles.
Well,
but
the math ain't mathing, man.
You gotta look at this thing, Parts, and say, correct me if I'm wrong. There's 3 games on Thanksgiving. A 4th game on Friday.
Yes.
And then all the windows on Sunday.
Yes.
We're together.
A lot of games, man.
We're together until a week from now, and if we can't pull it together, the system has to change. For entertainment purposes only.
Parts.
That's so disappointing.
All I'm saying is, don't give me Al's brother. I don't want him.
Well, I told you these two. I don't think they're going to work together because Al's brother is going to.
Then you'll never have him. We're staying. Forget it. We're staying for the whole season. Forget it.
Because you will not be able to work with Al's brother. Because Al's brother, especially coming off a win where you guys fold, like you're an organization that will seize operation.
Okay,
like,
forget
that's
it.
Pathetic.
We're sticking it out,
I think
and
we
if we
also
get dummy,
need
we
some
get
guidelines
dummy.
here on like who gets traded, me or you? Like who?
Well, this guy wants to come over onto my team. Like, I know how he's thinking because I am seeing the board very clearly right now.
Dude, it doesn't matter because the points would get split down the middle. Al's brother would take his 6 points to you, and I would take 6 to...
I don't say he's taking anything to me. Al's brother's not. We're not on the same team.
Well, you guys...
We're sticking it out the rest of the year.
I trade O-Dog for future considerations? You can keep Al's bro. You can just take O-Dog.
That's a great question. Future considerations. Man, that would hurt the ego. You got flipped for futures.
Yeah, I'm just like not involved in the segment. I just take my headphones off.
Futures. Well, listen, there's 4, 5, 6, there's 8 games on the line.
Next
week 13.
Week. 8 games.
That's a massive swing.
We need to go 6-2.
Minimum 6-2 with a win tonight.
Yeah, and all of a sudden we're in single digits.
Then it's a touchdown.
And remember, Christmas has some time. Christmas.
A lot of games over Christmas. There are a lot of games left to be played.
Now we go. Now we go.
All right. What did you think of Shedeur Sanders yesterday? And it sounds like Dylan Gabriel's been cleared for action, but they're going to stick with Shedeur as the number one.
I've got a lot of thoughts on Shedeur. So first and foremost, I'll say this. I actually like him as a player. I liked him in college. You know, I like him. I thought he did okay yesterday. You know, he did what he was asked to do. Let's take the drama out of it for a second. Let's just look at the game yesterday. He had one brutal play, which was the interception. That was awful. I thought his best play, he kind of got flushed from the pocket. Big deep shot down the field. Unbelievable throw. Mm-hmm. They asked him to throw 20 times. He had 11 completions. Not ideal. Not brutal. 209 passing yards. You know, that's a bit inflated. A 66-yard swing pass helps you out quite a bit. That being said, expectations for me, he's a third-string quarterback who's barely practiced. And I know that's his whole MO right now, but that's every third-string quarterback's thing. He's a rookie in the league. Like, if this was J.J. McCarthy, we'd be watching memes saying, like, this guy's our future, this guy's the best. J.J. McCarthy plays the game that he just played. We're singing praises. So I do think he's unfairly criticized. Mm-hmm. That's the non-dramatic take here. The dramatic take is these interviews this guy's doing. He's on pace for me personally to be the worst interviewed person ever. Like, before the game being like, imagine if I have an off season. Imagine if I have practice. It's like
so stupid, man.
It was such a cringe narrative. There is no third-string quarterback that is getting reps with the ones in season. There's barely any twos that get reps with the one. Like, what are you talking about? Secondly, you didn't just light it on fire. You played the Raiders, and you have an unbelievable defense. And even before the game, like, they're going to see I'm the guy they've been looking for. Like,
I know, that was insane, man.
Insane. You're playing the Raiders, and you played below-average quarterback play.
He was looking for, like, some kind of humble, like, are you excited about this? And he goes, I'm going to show them that I'm who they're looking for. And then he just walked off and left her
stared
standing
at the camera. Like, I'll say this.
Stupid, man.
You just want him to, like, because I do think he's got ability to play, but I'd love for him to just be like, hey, we're out of the playoffs, you know, the Browns. We're not going to make a run, but, like, I'm coming in here, bringing my lunch pail, putting my head down, and going to work and trying to win as many games to secure my future as a player in this league and for the Browns. But instead, it's the showman. It's the theatrics. And I think it takes away from it. And I think there's going to be a lot of guys, if it comes down to this, if they want to keep Gabriel as their main guy in the future, there's going to be a lot of other teams that are like, we don't want all the other stuff. And that's what happened to him on draft day. It's like he's not going to come in here and start. We don't want the media attention. We don't want the circus. So, no, we're going to pass on him. And it's just a shame that he keeps, you know, doubling, tripling, quadrupling down on this.
Well, they've got the Niners next week. So you got the Niners at home, then Tennessee at home. Again, you can get through the Niners, man. You can put up numbers against Tennessee right now. But, yeah, we'll see. I mean, he's going to follow in the footsteps of his dad. I mean, that's just the way it's going to happen. Like, Deion talked the game, but like we talked about last hour, he walked the walk. Like, Deion is an all-time great player.
Yes.
The second he walked into the league, it was like, look at me, but I'm going to go out and do it, and he did it.
I get what you're saying, Brian.
Talent.
But what does his son have to do with that? If you don't go out and play like your role,
I think he's basic. I think he's kind of following instructions, is what I'm indicating.
And that's
like, I think Deion is obviously told him, like, and it's his dad. Like, that's his mentor. This is how you operate. Yeah. This is how you work. You know, this is. it would actually be more kind of shocking if he was the complete opposite of Dion.
Yes.
You'd be like, wow, that's kind of wild. Like Dion is larger than life.
Totally.
You give him a microphone, he's going to say, I'm the greatest, look at me. And I think Shedeur is obviously thinking, I got to do the same thing.
And I would agree with everything you said, but the glaring difference for me is to me, outsider looking in, it seems more authentic coming from Dion. Like that was actually him. Where like when I watch Shedeur's interviews, I'm like, these are so forced. They're so almost pre-planned. Like imagine if I had practice and it's like, dude, stop it. Like, Dion's play beyond himself was kind of like the one thing that was like, look how great I am. And it started with his play and then he backed it up with his talk. Where it's like with Shedeur right now, you went to Colorado and yes, you had success there, especially given the fact that Colorado prior to him arriving was awful. But you didn't win anything at Colorado. You're not a high draft pick. And you're currently on the Cleveland Browns. When I was playing in the locker room, you know how we talked about Cleveland Browns? That's where careers go to die. Mm-hmm. Like, if you're a veteran guy and you sign there, you know that, like, yo, this is the end of the line for me. I'm collecting a check at this point. Okay? That's where you're at. So you can't really sit here and talk like Dion when you're on the Browns in the current state of what the Browns are.
I hear you. But I guess I'm saying I don't think he takes that into consideration.
No, he doesn't.
I think he looks at it like I'm a Sanders.
Yes.
And whether I'm in Cleveland, Atlanta, Dallas, San Francisco, Colorado, whatever it is, this is the way we roll. Like
whatever
this is
he's
how,
doing,
this is how we operate.
Whatever he's doing, it's working because we just spent 10 minutes talking about him. And we didn't talk about Matthew Stafford and how good he plays.
How great he was. There's the likely MVP. And deserves it. Look how he started the game last night.
Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah. But it's intrigue, man, because Dion is one of the more fascinating figures of the last 30 years in pro sports. 40 years.
That's where I totally disagree with you. It's not Dion. It's his son, who's not very good. So I don't understand the intrigue.
I get it. I hear you.
Is there anybody like Dion in the hockey? Like yesterday, I don't know how old. Maybe Doogie can get this for us. I don't know Dion's exact age. But it's like they zoomed to Dion, and he's got to be, what, in his 50s, right?
Oh, yeah.
He's got the cowboy
he came
hat
out in the 80s. He was drafted 50s, in the 80s.
And he's got a cowboy hat on, a sweatshirt, and 3 gold chains. And I'm just like, at what point do we get out of that phase?
58 years old.
58, that's how old
Head coach at Colorado. I love it.
Yeah, with his cowboy hat and his gold chains on.
Yep. That's him, man.
Is there a hockey guy you can equate to that?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know if there's anyone in any sport that you can equate to that. I mean, Dion is a different beast.
God.
Like Deion Sanders is one of one. There's no one like him.
Yeah, that cracked me up.
All right, so you guys are on the clock here. What is the spread here? What are we locking this in on?
Come
FanDuel?
on, you two, dig
7.5.
I can't see these Al's brothers pictures at 11 o'clock at night, him in a flowery shirt that Hayes sending it out. There's either the Beansy picture or there's the – you haven't sent the Beansy picture.
I know. It's like it doesn't even hold weight anymore. It's just Al's brother on a cruise. Throw up the Al's brother
There's
pick.
a pick in the chamber that these guys haven't seen in a while that they might get tonight. They know.
Joe from the bridge, if you have the Al's brother pick, post it because we're dying to see it. I know it was in the chain. I know he can go back and find it. I want that on the screen while these guys make their pick. Niners laying 7.5 at home against Carolina.
I told you, Brian, that was it.
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
it right there. Get that on the big screen.
God. Luke, take a look at that picture. That was in our group chat.
So beautiful.
Skin crawl.
I love that guy. Yeah. Look at how comfortable he is.
You guys are going to try and trade that guy to me?
Yeah. Well, not trade. Are you kidding me? You're getting traded
Parts,
to him.
Forget it. We're staying
together. That guy's the
Parts.
president of football operations.
Parts, this is a bit of an ugly pick here, okay? Because I do like the Niners to win. But there's no way we can give San Fran, with the injuries and the situations going on, 7.5 points. The pick here all day is Carolina. We could just get it straight up.
Oh, yes.
We could backdoor this thing.
Look at him staring into your soul.
You look at San Fran's defensive stats right now. They are not a great defense. I'm not looking at the TV. I'm not. Take it off, JP. Who is it, Doogie? Get it out of here.
Joe from the bridge.
Joe.
Man, he loves that.
Ratings crusher.
Yeah, you're not kidding, man. That's Seinfeld finale type numbers.
We're taking Carolina. Bryce Young's got to come through for us tonight. I expect this thing to be somewhat close. Listen, they got a shot to go and be the division leader.
6-5, man. They're right there with Tampa. Baker's hurt.
And Baker's hurt. They got to keep this thing close. It's Monday night, and the next thing before I'll say this, Dave Canales and Kyle Shanahan A lot of crossovers. I would say they come from similar coaching trees. So generally speaking, when coaches know each other in their history like this, it becomes a little bit of a chess match, which causes tighter games. So I'm going to go with this one. I like Carolina plus 7.5.
Okay. I like it, Parts. I want to just touch on one thing before we end the segment. Did you not find it disgusting how they had to come up with their own stupid hashtag?
Yeah.
Hashtag back to business. How dumb is that?
These guys are the worst. They're scumbags. This guy's got on his third different shacket in 3 days.
I love my shacket.
Look at this guy.
Muppet.
This guy's disgusting.
The Muppet. That's what he is.
Dude, that guy's 5-star accommodation on every cruise
I'll
around the
be
world.
very honest with you. They got the layup last night. Baker gets hurt, which made it even worse. We got jammed by Philly. It's just unlucky. We got jammed by 1st and goal from the 2 to go ahead and cover that spread. But dark days are over. Dark days are over. Thanksgiving is our week. It starts tonight.
Put the picture back up.
Don't do it.
Put the picture back up.
Now we go.
Get it
Now
up.
we go. Now we go. Now we go.
Yes.
Look at that.
Who's in charge of putting this up here?
That guy walks into the most exclusive club on planet Earth, and they say red carpet. They open the doors. They say go through the kitchen like Henry Hill. That guy goes through. That guy goes through kitchens.
I cannot believe you just put Al's brother in the same sentence as Henry
That
Hill.
guy goes through kitchens. That's what he does. He doesn't go through the front door, Al's brother.
Right
through the kitchen.
That's the TSN
VIP.
turning point.
Right in
You
front.
cannot.
Right
every
there.
Italian.
Please
even
sit
though
right
Henry Hill
here.
Theoretically was
Frank
Italian.
Sinatra. Look at Al's
Frank
brother.
Sinatra.
Yeah,
Look at this
Sinatra's
guy.
playing, and Al's
Look
brother
at
is
this
right
guy.
in the front.
Look at this
right in the
guy.
middle. Look at him.
Disgusting.
He's drinking an Aperol Spritz.
I love it. Right through the kitchen.
Drinking old fashioned.
I love
Parts.
it. I love
Thanksgiving, the holiday season is where we shine.
Let's go, Parts.
Let's go. We're together forever.
Hey, hashtag keep pounding tonight, baby. Let's go.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
it. Hashtag back
Keep
to business.
pounding.
All right, picks in. You guys are on the Panthers. Good stuff, man. Good luck.
Can't wait.
That's going to be your boss in about 6 hours.
No, it's not.
That guy's going to be running your whole operation in about 6 hours.
Oh,
All
man.
right,
tough.
there you go. Best bet still to come. Joel Quinville next.
Back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
All right, best bets later in the hour. We got some games in the NHL tonight. Only one tomorrow, Edmonton, Dallas. It's a big game. Edmonton coming home playing Dallas. And then on Wednesday, basically the whole league's playing, including the Anaheim Ducks, who are leading the Pacific Division 14-7-1. They got all these young guys who are putting up big, big numbers. I think the whole league is coming to life here and realizing what's going on in Anaheim. And I got to think, if your team's winning, you got a couple of off days, there could be a worse place to spend those than Anaheim, California. I got to think it's pretty sweet out there when you're on a heater. Winning games and living in Anaheim, I got to think that's a pretty good combo. And our next guest is doing just that as he prepares for the next game at home against Vancouver on Wednesday. Here's the head coach of the Anaheim Ducks. Back on Overdrive, here's Joel Quenneville. How you doing, Joel?
Doing great, guys. Thanks for having me. Yeah,
absolutely.
Things are great out here. You're right about the weather here. We got a beautiful day.
Yeah, it must be pretty sweet to be 14-7-1 and you wake up in Anaheim.
We're not complaining. Yeah, no. It's a good start.
Absolutely. Well, you guys are young, and I'm curious, how much of this was expected, and take us back to camp and kind of what the marching orders were for this team. And I'm sure they've met what the expectations were, but how great of a ride has it been so far?
It's been a great start. I think coming in there this summer there when we got the opportunity here, it is amazing how many people were saying out of all the teams in the game right now, this is probably the place with the most young guys that are looking like they could be good players, and the depth of the organization and ready to go to that next step was in place. I thought they made a big jump last year, and this year we wanted to make sure that we create an identity right from the get-go here that, hey, we're going to be hard to play against, but more importantly, we want to make sure that we're the most competitive team we can be. And I think that's been in place. Guys are having fun. We got a good mixture of young and old guys. The veteran guys are helping out the young guys. The younger guys are excited about being here every day and having a nice environment where we're competitive, we're producing, we're trying to get points out of every game. But I like the balance of our team. I like our speed. I like creativity. We can be better in certain areas. We can't rely on the goalies all year long the way we have so far and expect that to continue. So we got to help them out a little bit. But I think so far so good as far as what we wanted initially to start off with, and that was being a competitive team and having the puck and trying to keep the puck as long as we can.
So, Q, I watched you guys play the other night against Ottawa, and, what is the ceiling for some of these young players you had? You mentioned you've got the Kreiders, Killorns, Strome, the veteran guys that are helping, the Gudas, guys like that are helping out. But what is the ceiling for a kid like Carlson or Gauthier, even Seneke? I mean, that kid's 19, and he looks like a rock star already. When you look at them, do you have to be patient with them and just kind of let them find their way, or it seems like they've arrived already?
Well, they're a couple of. I mean, Leo's going to be a real special player in the game. Beckett, Seneke, he's going to be. He's a pretty amazing player too. He likes to try things, and I think some of those things are better served in junior. And he's learning as he's going along here that certain plays you can make there and not here. But he does have great patience, and he does have good play recognition. I think he's growing leaps and bounds here as he started the year, knowing that, hey, there's a certain way we play without the puck, but have that freedom with it. And I think he's got a lot of freedom the way he plays in his game. I mean, all the guys, I think, Cutter's got great speed. I think our team has depth as far as speed goes, size goes, creativity. We got our D are complementing the offense of our team game. I think we can be better collectively adding to our defense. Jackson Lacombe makes plays. We've got a lot of guys in the back end. Zelly, he likes to go up in the attack. But you mentioned Ottawa the other night. Geez, did they ever play a good game in here against us? And, that game was on the line. It was one of those games that you're sitting there at the end of it. This is a game we got to get points out of. And we lost a big point late in the game. And but I was sitting there saying, Ottawa, they give you nothing. They played a real strong team game, and but shows you the league this year is very competitive. Boston was in the day before, and it was a very comparable game where you got to fight for everything. And I think that's probably how the league's going to play out all year.
Q, what's the one biggest thing that young guys have to do to transition from being just young, talented players to get to a championship-level team? I mean, you had Sharp and Taze and Kane in Chicago where they were just young, talented guys, and they became champions. Like, if you could point to one thing that happened in all of them as a group, what would it be? Is it like competitiveness and just all-around game? What's the one thing that has to happen for your guys to take that next step?
I think being consistent in your game, that predictability where the coach feels comfortable putting you out there in all situations, late in games, and they have that trust. And, you know, you're going to get stronger over the course of your career, and knowing that in that first year these guys can out-muscle in the puck area, but learn to keep yourself in the play in those situations where you can influence it and get a chance to get it back, as opposed to just watching and thinking that you can go on the offensive side of things. So I think that they add that to their game, then they're going to have the puck way more, and then that plays to what their strengths are, because they're gifted offensively, and but try to make sure that that's a part of the game that stabilize that and add to your game, and have a little bit more predictability in when being in all situations when you're out on the ice.
With Ducks head coach Joel Quenneville, you just mentioned a moment ago watching, Ottawa play and how well they played and how, there's parity in the league, so to speak, and we've been discussing it a lot. Obviously, you're hyper-focused on your own team. Is it too early to start trying to figure out what else is going on around the league, around your division? How often do you allow yourself to get out of, the bubble of Anaheim and try to get a read on what else is going on in the league?
Right now, it's almost like you're thinking of your next game, and then you might jump ahead and say, who's their next opponent? But we don't even have time. I mean, we're so busy right now. Our schedule was hectic. We've got first time we probably had to breathe all beginning of the season here. So it's a and you get a couple days off. You can reflect more, knowing that the guys can get a breath of fresh air too. But we haven't really had any real meaningful practices in the last 2 weeks. So we're going to get back on the ice tomorrow and then kind of reflect and kind of grind them in certain areas that we got to make sure that we got to get. This is an important part that we got to correct, and then see how it transfers into the games. But you really got to just do that in video and in conversations with the guys who shore up the mistakes or the certain areas where you want to be more, I guess, consistent. And so that's part of it. But the year is going by so fast, and you're just preparing for the next team, and that's what your awareness is. But I'm going to say the league trends right now, I think everybody's excited about trying to make the Olympic team, where they're trying to stay healthy and trying to stay in the race, because it's what a race.
It's not the first time we've had no time to practice. What does that mean? Just guys are tired, too many games, and is that sports science people saying don't put them on the ice? What is the reason for no practice?
Because they're tired. I don't think they're going to get anything out of it. I mean, I think that being a former player, and we felt when we were in the playoff runs, and less is more, and not even going on and putting their skates on, you get way more bang for your buck taking the day off, either having a morning skate or getting ready for the game. I think that's is what we're trying to do in those busy schedules. But I mean, you still got to get out there at certain times and trying to get something out of it when you're out there. But at the same time, I find 3 days in between. We gave them 2 days off, so that was I don't think anybody heard of the 2 days off right now this time of the season. But so that's where we're in the middle of that one right now.
So, Q, when you talk about resting the guys, is it a scenario where you're teaching or you're coaching through video on a day off or anything like that? If they're not on the ice, is it something where you can pull somebody in before a game or whatever and say, hey, this is what we're teaching, this is what we're talking about? Because the league seems, and I've seen a lot of games, the league seems very scrambly. Like the systems aren't as tight. You mentioned Ottawa. They're a team that is very stingy, but there's a lot of teams that are a little bit looser early on in this first 20 games. Have you noticed maybe the league a little bit more scrambly because of the lack of practice time?
Could be. I mean, I would, I use the term loosely with the way we're playing, sometimes starting games, and we get a little bit more predictable as we go along here. But I think there's a number of different systems that teams play, and you don't see all these teams, and you're only focused on the last game, and it's almost like, okay, what do we got to do tonight? Change the way we play. We don't like changing the way we play. Just making awareness of what our opponents are going to do. So it's a game-to-game situation where you're trying to reinforce certain areas. Some days we might not go on the ice, but we'll bring them in and they'll have video and we can go over. Maybe they get in the gym and get a workout in as well, but they don't have to go on the ice all the time. I think we have meetings regularly. I think everybody systematically is up to date on what we're trying to do or what we're trying to fix. And so I think that it all gets back to, let's keep it simple. That's what our foundation is. Simple. It's always going to be best. Trust your instincts is next, and then go from there. But the standard of being competitive, that's got to be all out. So that's the part that we make sure that they sustain.
Q, what do you think of the guys on the bench with the iPads? I watch that sometimes, and I'm like, what the hell are they looking at? Do you think that's helpful, the iPads on the bench for the players to be looking at, or what?
It's a great question. I don't like looking at it very much. I might ask my assistant coaches what do they think. I know certain teams, they're extensively looking at it. Sometimes you can say, the player's looking for an excuse. Some guys are, and how there are different levels of how they look at the game. And you're going to say, well, okay, maybe you're looking for something that you see that on the special teams with a guy's stick positioning or this or that. Hey, I'm not. I'm going to reserve my judgment on it. I'm going to let them look at it if they want to look at it. I don't need to look at it. I don't want to look at it. We're moving ahead and keeping focused on the game. But certain guys, I mean, hey, they use it, and some teams really use it a lot, and it's a good tool for them. Just like my video meetings. I can't run a video meeting. I have, I can't even circle a guy on a drawing on the board when we're doing it. I get a point with a stick. So, anyways, I can explain something. I got a pad there, and I'll point, go here from there, and then hopefully they get it.
Well, they seem to be. They seem to be getting it so far. We'll get you out of here with a question about your GM, where you guys, Pat Verbeek and yourself, you played 1 year in Hartford. I think it was his first year in Hartford, your last year in Hartford. And I love HockeyDB because you can find stats. He had 289 penalty minutes that year, Pat Verbeek, and 9 fights. What's that relationship been like when you were teammates and now you're working together?
Yeah, we played some games together too in Jersey when he was really young. I think he might have been 18 when Beaker came to Jersey. And hey, Beaker's a competitive guy. He is he doesn't take any, and he doesn't care how big you are or what he's got to do to go to where he's got to go to have some success. And you get in the way, you might have some trouble dealing with him. But I like the word relentless when describing players. Beaker was one of those guys. Has the same type of an attack with his managerial way he positions himself in that department. I think he's done a great job of building the team the way he has, been patient in the right areas, and now it's starting to the traction that they got from last year and where we want to go to this year. I feel fortunate to be a part of it, and knowing that his enthusiasm, you can feel it every day.
Well, you guys are off to a great start, and we're obviously tracking it. We'll see where it goes for you, but congrats on a great start, and good luck the rest of the way. And as always, we appreciate you doing this.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me, guys. Have a great day.
You got it. Joel Quenneville of the Anaheim Ducks. Yeah, Pat Verbeek, man. I'm looking at his fight card from 89-90. Mark Jansen's.
They had a tough team.
Dude,
Wasn't
Mark
Chaser
Jansen's is 6'4".
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like this was in Hartford. Was Chaser on that team? Let me look. I don't know if he was there yet. Let me go back to it. But Jansen's, he fought Mike Foligno, who was tough.
Yes.
Rob Ramage, he fought Ramage.
Rammer was tough too.
But then he fought Alex McGillney somehow and Essa Tikkanen. So I don't know how those happened.
Pat Verbeek was not. He's not a big guy.
No, that's what I'm saying.
But he. Do you remember his nickname? Oh, I don't want to say it because it's a bad it was. Do you remember it?
I remember it. I didn't play with him.
Farmer. It was the second part of it.
I thought it was Little Ball of Hate. I thought that was his
there
nickname.
was maybe I'm
okay.
pig farmer. That's what it was like.
That pig farmer. I don't know what's so bad about that. He was a pig farmer from Ontario.
Sarnia. He's a Sarnia guy.
But it was just like I remember like Chaser and the going, that pig farmer, he's tough. Watch out for him, like that type of stuff.
I guess.
And it was Verbeek, Castles, and Sanderson. Wasn't that a line in Hartford that was?
Yeah, my first training camp in Hartford, like Pat Verbeek was like an old school guy where everyone else would kind of be like, hey, welcome to Hart. Like you had to earn your like keep with him.
Yeah.
I never did because I went back to junior, but it was just like he didn't have the time of day for anybody that was.
He's
man, he had some good stats too, man.
Oh yeah,
like he had a couple years. Like I'm looking at first year in Hartford, 44 goals, 89 points, 228 penalty minutes.
I'm telling you, this guy he had an attitude. He was tough to play against, but they were good. That line, Castles was an unbelievable passer. Jeff Sanderson could skate. His son skates just like him, like just effortless. And Sandy could shoot the puck and stride. Like they were an unbelievable line. It just Hartford was I don't know why that team wasn't better. They had great players on it.
Rick Lee was their head coach that year. Well, your boy Ricky Lee.
Ricky Lee.
Brian, you're up.
But look at these guys who, remained in hockey forever. Ron Francis on that team. Verbeek, Kevin Dineen, Ray Ferraro, our boy Ray, who's still obviously a huge voice in the game. Dave Tippett, Joel Quenneville.
Randy Ladouceur.
Brian Lawton was on that team for a little bit. You
mentioned Mark Jansen. Mark Jansen, I believe, is a
Dean Evison
coach agent too. Dean Evison is a coach.
Yep.
There's lots of great players and great coaches, great hockey minds. But Brad McCrimmon there too at one point too, right?
I think he was. You're right. Yeah. Kate Whitmore, who's been working with the league forever. I don't know if he's
Yeah, he's still in the war room and a big voice there. Absolutely. Yeah.
Wow. And you always mention the mustaches. Dave Babbage and
Tippett and
Randy Cunnyworth.
Oh, yeah. They all had mustaches.
Paul McDermott.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, his son plays on Ottawa now.
That's right.
Yeah.
Off his nails.
Jeez.
All right. Well, there you go.
Good stuff.
Little check-in down in Anaheim. And they're off to a really good start. Really good start. And, again, they you just saw them, Ottawa, man. They're rolling. Like Coach's mood meter, we'll do it later this week. I got to think Travis Green is, like, far and away number one on that list.
Got to be.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't know who's number two.
He might have been last.
He was a month ago or whatever, 4 or 5 games in when Brady got hurt.
It was probably 3 weeks ago. He was last.
Yeah.
I think
I'll do it Thursday if you like.
Okay. I think you're up because I got to think like Berube's still there. Adam Foote's really there, man. Vancouver's in a dark place
maybe
right now.
Huska's number 2.
Yeah. Calgary's playing better.
Won 3 in a row.
They're playing a lot better.
My Flames are playing better.
They are playing better.
Flames.
Hellebuck hurt, man. Winnipeg, they're getting dicey out there, man.
Yeah.
Getting a little dicey ever since we left.
Yeah,
disappointing.
You and Brucey, 5 teams are making the playoffs. Very funny.
We
got to fly.
I don't know. It's not good, man. A lot of Canadian content on that bottom of the standing list. Yeah. All right, best bets coming up. OverDrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
I need you to hold on. Heaven is a place not too far away.
All right, Best Bets powered by FanDuel. Make your picks and assemble a same-game parlay in seconds on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Taking the points tonight, I think, Owen Wilson, you're onto something here. This might be the last time we ever hear that name, Team Owen Wilson.
No,
It'd be very disappointing.
We decided we're sticking it out.
Sticking it out, okay.
Unless he changes his mind.
So now you're going to put it on him to make that decision? Okay. Well, anyway, I'm on Panthers plus 7.5. Bryce Young, 200-plus yards in the air tonight. Rico Dowdle, 20-plus yards receiving tonight. That parlay paying plus 360. Best Bets powered by FanDuel. The OverDrive same-game parlay available on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Please play responsibly, 19-plus, physically located in Ontario. All right, well, we'll see what the Raptors have in store tonight. Going for 8 in a row, man. They're on fire right now. On fire. So shout out to the Raps. We'll track that R.J. Barrett out tonight. Get into it tomorrow. Leafs back in action on Wednesday down in Columbus. We're coming off the Monday Nighter tonight. So we'll see what comes of it. Big game. Big night. All right, thanks to everyone behind the scenes for helping out. We appreciate it. Everyone for tuning in today. TV, radio, podcast, web, and up on YouTube Live. We appreciate that. We're out of here. Enjoy your evenings. Enjoy the games tonight. We're back tomorrow at
Owen Wilson for life, 4 p.m.
We'll chat then.